Well, with the drug violence, murders, and kidnappings that we keep hearing about on the news in Mexico, the big question when we talk about travel, is it safe for you to travel there?
Yeah, should people avoid the whole country entirely or just certain areas of the country? And so which one? So we have an expert with us on the travel beat, and that is Jennifer Donchez. Our regular viewers know her by now. She's with VIP Vacations, and she has the VIP answers for us if you're going to travel to Mexico. The big question now is it's spring break time, so a lot of parents are seeing the news and seeing their kids getting ready to leave, and they're a little in a quandary right now. So what do you tell them?
Well, we have to first go over what a travel alert is versus a travel warning versus a don't go there. Don't go there would be Cuba, North Korea, Myanmar. A travel warning says you have to be advised. It's an advisory to not travel there, and if you do travel there, be aware of certain things going on. That's Korea, South Korea, China, Iraq. You know, a travel alert just means there are certain incidents in certain places you should try to stay away from. So we got a lot of media buzz about going when you're in spring break and parents calling and saying, why, I'm not going to have my kids go there. It wasn't for going to areas in the Riviera Maya.
Like Cancun.
Like Cancun. It was for kids in California, Texas, crossing the borders because drinking age is, you know,
like
18.
Tijuana.
Exactly.
Here's my thing. You know, and our executive producer brought up yesterday, one of our producers brought up exactly what you're saying. You know, it's beaches as opposed to borders. You know, if you're going to Mexico, say from San Diego, like we used to do, or you're going from, or if you're going from Texas. But with that said, if I'm a parent, I'm just thinking, you know what? I don't care if it's an advisory or a warning. It's coming from the State Department. It's saying it's not safe. I don't care. What if I would be worried that it would move a few miles, or you know, that this is a tourist area, so maybe they'll go down and get some of my kids. I mean, I know what you're saying. If I was a parent, I would say, you know what? Just go up to the Poconos. It's great.
Well, I think we have to be aware of why they were addressing spring breakers. Spring breakers drink and act irresponsibly. Many of us have seen The Girls Gone Wild. So when there's alcohol, people start to do things that is not advisable. You are not going to go and look for drugs. You are not going to go down dark alleys with money hanging out of your pocket as an American in any U.S. city and not be asking for some sort of trouble or something to happen to you. So they're telling parents, be aware of what can happen when your kids go to spring break and advise them. Because let's face it, Americans, we kind of stick out. And we're also a little geographically challenged. If we look at a map, where the border towns are and where the Riviera Maya is 1,100 miles away. The difference from New York to Miami. If there was problems in Miami, people would still go to Disney, and that's even closer. So we have to be aware. You know, Steve, you were talking about all-inclusives.
Right. It's not tourists being targeted either. It's a drug war, and a lot of the killings and kidnappings are happening more on the American side of the border in Phoenix and places like that. But if you go to an all-inclusive, you're guaranteed to have that 24-hour security in addition to having meals, drinks, tips, and everything else. Right.
The U.S. Consulate has actually come out, and they're on the Cancun website, saying, we're telling people it's safe to go here. If you look at the statistics, last year there were 20 murders in Cancun. I don't even want to tell you what the murder rate was in Philadelphia. So if we're scared of that fact, we should move out of Philly because it was very safe. You just don't want to go looking for problems. Act responsibly. And that's what the alert is telling us. It used to be called a public announcement. It sounds so much more scarier to parents when they say it's an alert. And we have people calling all the time saying, because of the travel warning. It's not a warning. It's an alert. It's to act responsibly. And hopefully, with the economy down, people aren't spending their money to move a trip. They're spending hundreds of dollars to move a trip to other destinations where they haven't gone to the State Department and actually looked at other travel alerts. This travel alert has been in effect since 2005 for certain areas in Mexico. There's a lot of buzz now because of what the State Department said about spring breakers, but they could have said that about spring breakers going to Padre Island, spring breakers going to Jamaica. Spring breakers tend to act irresponsibly.
So I guess if your kids are going and the ticket isn't, you're not taking the ticket back, then I guess you just have to talk to them about it.
Exactly. Make them aware of being a safe and responsible traveler.
Great information again, Jennifer Donchez. I'll get it right. VIP Vacations, and we'll have you back next week as well with the latest on all this.